Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's the weekend roundup. No prompter. It's
God
gone.
Damn it.
Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's the weekend roundup. Let's start off by talking about GameStop. I know we've all heard it's dying, but it has gotten a whole lot worse. Everybody's least favorite game seller has been in trouble for years, but it might have passed the point of no return this past week. Its stock dropped by as much as 40% on Wednesday. That is collapsing. It was a 16-year low after a bad earnings report. Now it's reached the point where analysts think it might not be able to recover. How bad was business? Well, let's look at a metric called comparable store sales. That's the percent change in sales at a company's stores from one year to the next. That's what investors and analysts look to get an idea of the overall health of a company. Some investors refer to them as comps. Well, during the last quarter, GameStop's comps fell more than 10%. That means one store, its sales from year to year fell by 10%, which is a disaster. It helps explain why the stock price tanked. Oh, and GameStop said it was going to stop paying investors a dividend, which is a sign that it's really trying to cut costs. Jefferies analyst Stephanie Wisnick said that GameStop faces the need for a dramatic pivot, wholesale changes, and aggressive action to remain relevant. Yikes. GameStop is the how do you do fellow kids at this point. All right, we know it's been having trouble for a while now. The transition to digital games combined with Amazon's dominance and digital services like Steam has been brutal on the retailer, but Wednesday was awful even by GameStop standards. But wait, it gets even worse. Over the last 2 years, its stock has lost 2/3 of its value, which again suggests that it's in a death spiral at this point. But wait, it gets even worse. Since the end of 2007, when the company was worth more than $10 billion, GameStop has lost 95% of its market value. That's almost all of it. To make matters worse, last year it tried to sell itself, couldn't even do that. Nobody wanted it. Now, like we said, the shift to online retailing has hurt old school brick and mortar businesses like GameStop, as well as their policies and the way they do business. That hurt them too, and the fact that people are buying digital. But there's also a cyclical issue here. GameStop's hardware sales are really suffering. It fell off by 35% this quarter. That's because the PS4 and the Xbox One are old. Everybody expects next-gen consoles to launch next year, so everybody's waiting. But the longer-term trends aren't in its favor either, especially with Google and others working on their own streaming services. They don't need GameStop for any of that. So GameStop told shareholders last year that if people continue to download games and if technology lets them access games in new ways, quote, customers may no longer choose to purchase video games in our stores. Not surprisingly, nobody wants to be in charge of the sinking ship that is GameStop these days. It's been a revolving door of CEOs. One quit last year after just 3 months on the job. In March, GameStop hired its 5th CEO since November of 2017. His name is George Sherman. He's a veteran of chains like Target and Home Depot, but even he didn't sound too optimistic this week. He told investors that they've hired a consulting firm to improve its business and develop new revenues, and he added, "We owe it to our team to develop a better strategy and a better product for our customer. We have hard work in front of us. We're up to the challenge." Analysts say that GameStop is in for more pain, though, in the months ahead. Analyst Joseph Feldman said the combination of the transformation initiatives, ongoing consumer shift to digital gaming, and current console cycle being in the very late stages are likely to make 2019 a very challenging year. Yeah, that is putting it mildly. So GameStop might be going the way of Toys R Us. It's not looking great. All right, on to other news. Obviously, the other big news is E3. Events are starting up this weekend. So here's a quick schedule of the big upcoming stuff. Bad news, you missed the EA Play live stream already, but I'm sure it's archived somewhere. You're smart. You'll find it.
Is that really bad news, though, if you missed the EA Play?
You know what? They're going to unveil their new microtransactions for 2020. Microsoft's presentation, that's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then later that day, we got Bethesda at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Finally, Devolver Digital's event is Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. They always do a great show. On Monday, there's a PC gaming show at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Ubisoft will do its thing later Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then Square Enix wraps up the day on Monday with a presentation at 9 p.m. Eastern. Finally, on Tuesday, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct at noon Eastern, so you can watch on YouTube. I looked it up. I think it's youtube.com.
.com?
.com. You can watch it on YouTube. I looked it up, youtube.com/E3 or Twitch. And theirs was kind of weird, twitch.tv/team/E3. Or you can find, you guys know how to find this.
Also,
on the internet.
don't forget, not only, first off, our friends at Kind of Funny, they have the Kind of Funny E3 game showcase going on.
Nice plug.
And also, plugging, hey, it's us!
Oh yeah, we're doing something.
Yeah, Funhouse and Inside Gaming, 2
yeah.
days, drunk stream.
We got stuff here, right? We're going to stream it on this channel?
Yeah. So, yeah.
If not, I'm a big liar. But yeah, check it out here. We got tons of E3.
It's mainly going to be the E3 or the LA folks, but we're going to be using the power of the internet to top in there, like some of us from
kind of like how, I'm on the laptop sometimes. I think we're going to pop in that way.
Yeah.
So, speaking of E3, we've got a few more details about what we might see from Microsoft, aka the last console maker who bothered to show up. They're going to have a big presentation that will reportedly include Halo Infinite gameplay. Apparently, they're going to demo it with a PC and an Xbox controller. In all, they're going to show off 14 games from their own studios. Could include Gears of War 5, as well as DLC from State of Decay 2, Forza Horizon 4, maybe some Fable details, hopefully. Microsoft is also going to announce 3 new IPs, according to the tech site Thurrott, and they'll focus on their upcoming xCloud streaming service. That's going to be a big focus of the presentation. They're also going to talk about next-gen hardware, but don't expect raw specs. All right, it looks like Blizzard has canceled that FPS Starcraft spinoff that we've all been clamoring for. Kotaku said that they've been working on it for 2 years, and it was described as like Battlefield in the Starcraft universe. In some prototypes, you play as a Terran Marine shooting Zerg, naturally, and there might have been a playable Zerg option as well. That would have been cool. Anyway, it's dead now because Blizzard apparently needed to put more resources into Diablo 4 and a new Overwatch game. Now, Blizzard has tried to make other StarCraft shooter spin-offs in the past. You might remember StarCraft Ghost. That got the axe in 2006, so RIP to the latest one. That reminds me, I've been playing StarCraft 2 again. I cheesed my way to Platinum with Terran. It has been a lot of fun. People are furious at me. I love it. Is Fallout 76 going to pay to win? That's what some people have been arguing after a controversy about repair kits in the game. Now, the kits, they're offered in the Atomic Shop, and you can buy them with real money to repair your items. They're very, very handy because they let you fix weapons and gear without having to scrounge for components. But this has led some fans to worry that the game is on a slippery slope to becoming pay to win, because you can fix your stuff really easily. But project lead Jeff Gardner, no surprise, disagrees. He told PC Gamer, "We believe the repair kits were a convenience item for people who didn't want to grind for adhesive and other things. And it was just a way for them to basically shortcut game systems, definitely not pay to win." Pay to win is kind of shortcutting game systems,
yeah,
so
that's literally the definition of pay to win.
He called it simply a strict convenience thing, so there you go. All right, the much anticipated Shenmue 3 has been delayed again. In a Kickstarter announcement, creator Yu Suzuki and publisher Deep Silver said that the game simply needs a little more refinement before being truly finished. It's been bumped to November 19th instead of August 27th. Of course, if you've been following this, you'll know that it has been delayed multiple times ever since its crowdfunding campaign was first introduced in 2015. It went on to raise more than $7.1 million, but yeah, we're still waiting. Hopefully, this release date is for real this time. All right, if you're a video game music nerd like me, you're probably a fan of one or more of the Final Fantasy soundtracks. That series is legendary for its music. Get excited because Square Enix has released all the soundtracks for every mainline Final Fantasy game, as well as all the sequels, movies, spin-offs. It's gonna be great. I've been listening all morning. If you're on Spotify or Apple Music, you can check them out right now. Okay, time for Brian's 5-second review. Let's go. Great game. I love deck builders. Hey, you got any toilet paper?
Nope.
Best one yet. I know I say that every time.
You say that every time. How can that one be the best one?
That was the best time.
Okay.
My butt feels better. It's great. All right. It's time for the games that are coming out next week. With E3 going on, though, not a ton of games on the list this week. Up first, porting over to the Switch, it is the 2013 sci-fi turn-based strategy game Battle Worlds Chronos. It's inspired by some classic turn-based strategy games like Battle Isle, Advance Wars, I love Advance Wars, and Panzer General, and has not one but 2 single-player campaigns, multiplayer, and its graphics remind me quite a bit of Civ 5. You can pick this one up on the Switch on June 11th. Question for you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be Spider-Man?
Hell yeah, I have.
Well, have you wondered what it would be like to be Spider-Man swinging around the city while he's tripping balls on acid?
Hell yeah, I have.
Well, good news. Coming to console, it's Verlet Swing. This game has you swinging through psychedelic, fever dream-esque worlds as quickly as you can without running into anything. It has 100 levels, each one with increasing difficulty and a unique art style. It'd be funny if the levels had decreasing difficulty, and just by the end, you just cakewalk through it. So it's going to be unique to say the least. It's been on PC for nearly a year, but it's releasing on PS4 and Xbox One June 11th and Switch on June 14th. And finishing things up, it's Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition. It's a re-release of the award-winning story-driven open-world RPG set in the Holy Roman Empire. The Royal Edition includes the original game plus all the previously released DLC. It also includes new DLC called A Woman's Lot with its own standalone quest line. The reviews on Steam, mostly positive. Even the negative reviews mention how great the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance is. If that sounds like something you would like to jump into, the Royal Edition, it's already out on PC, but you can get it on PS4 and Xbox One June 11th. All right. That is all the news we've got for you this week. Enjoy E3, you guys. We'll see you right back here soon.
Everybody.
Happy E3. It's the best time.
Let's do it.
Enjoy the mini leaks.
A lot more info on us today about its upcoming cloud gaming service, Stadia.
Yep, it's really cool technology and all, but it has us wondering, who exactly is this for? The early adopter that also has no money.
Not really a thing.
No, not really. The person that can't afford a console but somehow has top-of-the-line internet with no data caps.
I'm confused.
I guess maybe the on-the-go gamer that doesn't